incredible day for our franchise as we welcome DeWanna Bonner, who is one of the greatest players in WNBA history, to the Indiana Fever.
This is DeWanna Bonner, a two-time champion, six-time All-Star, and one of the biggest reasons Caitlin Clark's haters have been losing sleep for the past month. We already knew that with the Fever's free agency moves, they're more stacked than my IHOP pancakes after a late Saturday night. Fever fans are buzzing like it's 2007, and the housing market is booming because, for the first time in years, a championship isn't just a dream. It's a real possibility. And just when the rest of the WNBA thought they could catch their breath, The Athletic dropped a bombshell article that sent the haters right back into the fetal position. The piece breaks down Bonner's free agency strategy and why she ultimately chose Indiana. And trust me, if you're a Fever fan, you'll want to hear which team she turned down and why. Because if this doesn't completely destroy the "nobody wants to play with Caitlin Clark" narrative, I don't know what will.
Carrington gives it up. Bonner at the horn. Gets it to go!
We've all heard the noise about the Fever's new-look roster, but Bonner's decision speaks volumes about just how big this season could be for Indiana, and of course, for Caitlin Clark, who looks more and more like the player ready to reshape the WNBA and silence the doubters in 2025.
It was terrific. Averaged over 20 points a game in the 2 preseason games.
Bonner banks it in.
Let's get into it, but first, hit that like button to welcome DeWanna to Indy and subscribe if you believe the Fever are going all the way.
30-point games this season, most in the W. She had just one in her career prior to this year as Bonner finishes plus the foul.
Knew she had a look, passed it up.
There's a mismatch down low between Clarendon and Thomas, but
DeWanna with Jordan Hurston on her. Ooh, crossover dribble and a nice win. There's the DeWanna Bonner.
The media called it a circus. The drama, off the charts. Some talking heads even lost their voices shouting about it. But here's the truth. When you shatter records, pack every arena you step into, and single-handedly lift a struggling team into the playoffs as a rookie, the best players want in. That's the real story. The transformation from league doormat to instant contender. It's easy to forget, and many Fever fans probably wish they could, Men in Black themselves.
Drive, strong, feeds. Layup missed by Jones. Bonner back up strong. Every member of the core three for Connecticut.
Holes. Zips it to Thomas. Bonner has another crack at a three. Drills it.
But before Caitlin Clark, Indiana was barely treading water. In 2023, they crawled to a 13-27 record, about as intimidating as mild salsa. The year before, a brutal 5-31. At that pace, a squad of halftime performers might have put up a better fight. Attendance hovered around 4,000, and if you showed up, you could practically hear the disappointment echoing through the empty seats. The Fever hadn't sniffed the playoffs since 2016, a drought so long it made waiting for the next grand theft. Auto looked short. They were the WNBA's sad trombone, the wump-wump of women's hoops. Then came Caitlin Clark in 2024, flipping the franchise's fortunes faster than Angel Reese grabs her own rebounds. A shooter, a playmaker, a walking highlight reel, she kept the swagger from college and delivered big, averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. The Fever weren't just back. They were must-watch. She didn't just win Rookie of the Year. Caitlin Clark shattered records, including the WNBA's single-season assist mark. Not bad for year one. Indiana's glow-up? Unreal. Clark took a middle-of-the-pack offense and supercharged it, launching the Fever.
History helped guide Connecticut to the semifinals where they've been each of the last 5 years, and Bonner trying to help Connecticut separate.
We are in clutch time now. New York has been the steady team leading that. Bonner drills a three. It's the first lead for Connecticut since the first minute of the game.
But of course, the internet had to internet. Even as Clark packed arenas, sent ratings soaring, and made the league more relevant than ever, the haters kept chirping. "It's a circus!" they wailed, as if pro athletes would rather hoop in empty gyms than shine on the biggest stage. "Nobody wants to play in Indiana with all that drama," they whined. And then came the Christie Side saga. The Fever's ex-coach got the boot after the season.
DeWanna Bonner, fake, readjusts in the air.
Dribble handoff with Dolson. And Sykes throws it away. Bonner foot race, tracks it down. Easy two for the...
Bonner now. Good defense by Neckin. Gonna force a tough shot. Bonner, step back. She can hit this, though, and does. DeWanna Bonner. She's been hitting that step back for a decade.
Playoffs or not, and the pity party kicked into full swing. Sure, Sides did the best she could managing the chaos, but in pro sports, winning changes everything. The Caitlin Clark frenzy, the hype, the media circus. Cheryl Swoops made it sound like coaching Clark was brain surgery on a unicycle. Sure, managing a rookie superstar is like directing a blockbuster with the world's biggest actress. High stakes, immense pressure, and zero room for error.
Bonner coming over with the handoff. Goes right past Cardoso, who recovers nicely, but Bonner's got the soft touch.
Bonner with 14 in the game. Bonner on the drive. Count it, and a foul.
We've seen the Mystics get hot shooting the three, and that's changed all of basketball at any level, that three-point line. Bonner! Two off the window, plus a five.
You either get it right or you get replaced. Christy Sides took heat all season for questionable decisions, and now we know Clark didn't always get the guidance she wanted. In the end, Sides didn't make the cut, and the Fever moved on. That's just how pro sports work. And all this talk about players not wanting attention? Please, the great ones crave the spotlight.
Eyes on Jones, Bonner knocks it down. Sun, middle of the pack in offense this year, number one defense. Bonner spots up a three and drills it.
Bonner has had some really great looks in the paint. She needs to slow down and convert those. She's looking for the foul call, and it's been a very physical game where she hasn't got it. And
there's a finish in the paint.
Finish in the paint. There we go.
Saying stars would avoid Indiana because of Clark's circus is like claiming a musician would turn down a sold-out world tour because they don't like crowds. Let's not forget, the so-called circus is fueling the WNBA's biggest glow-up ever. Clark's rookie year sparked a 170% jump in viewership, a 1,200% surge in merch sales, and a 25% boost for local businesses on game days.
Mbawale can't hit the three, but they say they just got to take it one step at a time.
Good hustle there from Enrique getting back, and then DB. Man, those long arms, they just roll out.
Pre-game, right around shoot-around, and how she tore her Achilles the last time the Olympics went around. So Bonner gets the lay-in.
That's not chaos, that's a cash machine. The league isn't crumbling under the hype, it's finally breaking into the mainstream. All this panic? It's just the old guard sweating like blockbuster execs watching Netflix take over. And if there was any doubt about Indiana's rise, this year's free agency ended the debate. The Fever went full Avengers Assemble mode, collecting talent like Infinity Stones. No more underdog story. This squad is built to dominate.
The contact from moments ago between Copper and Cunningham was reviewed for a possible hostile act, and after review, ruled just a personal foul on Malia Copper.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. Malia Copper, she gets her in the neck, but she's going for the basketball. I like the call. There's just a common foul.
Kelsey Mitchell, Clark's perfect running mate, a lights-out shooter who dropped 19.2 points per game last season. No way Indiana let her walk. Natasha Howard, three-time champ, former Defensive Player of the Year, basically a walking nope sign for anyone trying to score in the paint. Sophie Cunningham, a fearless sharpshooter who'll drain threes in your face, then tell you exactly how to 2023 Rookie of the Year, already a double-double machine, a defensive nightmare, and still nowhere near her ceiling. DeWanna Bonner, a living legend, no question. 6-time All-Star. 15 years of straight-up dominance. For the past 5 seasons, she dragged the Connecticut Sun to the semifinals like it was a personal mission, including a finals run in 2022, and in 2024, still hooping at an elite level. At 37 years young, she put up 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, proving she's got more game left than your uncle's dusty PlayStation. But here's the plot twist. Bonner chose Indiana in free agency, and that sent shockwaves through the league.
But the floor spacing has changed with her out on the court She is knocking down threes, something that no one else has been able to do consistently tonight.
But the technical foul called on Cunningham for this.
That's Sophie.
Why? Because just months earlier, she and Caitlin Clark were locked in one of the spiciest battles of the 2024 playoffs. Bonner fouled Clark like she was swatting a fly. Words flew faster than a fast. Break, and the tension was thicker than an Irish accent after a few whiskeys. So when she signed with the Fever, jaws hit the floor. But don't worry, she's got a very good reason for picking Indy. And it's exactly why Fever fans are buzzing for 2025. According to The Athletic, Bonner had options. Teams lined up for her like she was the Bachelorette, handing out her final rose.
Digging Smith. Whoa, look out. Cunningham up and over the scorer's table. Look out.
I hope she's okay, but
That's that Columbia, Missouri bred energy right there.
Yeah, she got a big old smile. Yeah, you better give her a round of applause. Does the audience here?
The stars aren't just aligning for the Indiana Fever, they're reshaping the entire WNBA. This squad isn't here to simply make the playoffs. They're coming for the crown. It's giving 90s Bulls energy, Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston, the franchise cornerstones, are only 23, not even close to their prime. Think Jordan and Pippen in their early days? No, it's not a perfect comparison, but the impact? That's the point. With these signings, the Fever.
First four of the season. As McBride. Bonner, same move again. Oh, yeah!
Hannah 1 for 11, 9% from the three-point line.
I think they need to start establishing Tina Charles down low.
It definitely has worked as DeWanna Bonner from outside.
Aren't just building a contender, they're opening the door to dynasty territory. This is a win-or-bust culture, the kind that attracts players hungry for rings. And with the upcoming CBA increasing the salary cap, Indiana will have two types of players knocking on their door. Stars chasing a payday, veterans willing to take. Less to chase a title that balances how dynasties are made. But why does all of this really matter to the WNBA? Because let's be real. Fans want Caitlin Clark to win. Need proof? Her 2024 NCAA championship showdown with South Carolina pulled.